Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking time to join us on the Lunch Hour webinar. As some of you know, the Lunch Hour was really a brainchild between a podcast and a webinar. And we're so happy that you've all joined us today to hear more about an exciting topic, which I'm sure all of you will gain some insights into as we hear Jui Seck talk today. And as you know, I'm running a firm, Sarah-Mae Thomas LLC, and I specialize in family law. But I've been inviting some guests on the show to share some insights and topics that are related to family law. So we had the Property Lim brothers recently, and they shared their insights into the property market in post and pre-COVID. We had Sam Roberts, who was talking about managing your emotions during a divorce. And then we had Bhatia Shulman talking about financial planning. And today we have a very exciting guest, Lim Jui Seck. I'd like to invite him in. Thank you, Jui Seck, for taking time to join us today.
My pleasure.
Okay, so a little bit about Jui Seck. I'm just going to share my screen. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so yes, so Jui Seck was qualified as a certified financial planner with the Financial Planning Association of Singapore in May 2004. He obtained a professional qualification of STEP certificate in financial services, as well as a certificate as Associate Estate Planning Practitioner in April 2013. Jui Seck advises his clients in many areas such as CPF nomination, insurance nomination, advanced medical directives, business succession, business continuity, and multi-generational estate planning. He has also written a book on estate planning and you, and I've got it here with me. And he published it in October 2020 to raise public awareness of this important subject. Today's webinar will touch on the nature and subject of estate planning, the importance and urgency of estate planning, and its tools and processes. You'll also get an opportunity to ask questions shortly after Jui Seck's presentation. So before we launch into Jui Seck's presentation, let me tell you a little bit about my firm. We can advise you here at Sarah-Mae Thomas LLC on matrimonial and family disputes. We do probate and estate planning as well, civil, commercial, and corporate matters, and criminal matters. We are particularly invested in matrimonial and family disputes. So if you ever need any help with that, please feel free to reach out. Our QR code is just here on the right. And I also run Singapore's first legal podcast hosted by a lawyer, the Legal Eagle podcast, where I talk about various social and legal issues. Again, it's available on Spotify, on all major platforms. The QR code's just on the right, so feel free to check it out. And please subscribe to support me. Okay, so without further ado, Jui Seck, can you tell listeners about yourself? Something about yourself.
Sure. Thank you, Sarah, for organizing this webinar and also for hosting this.
It's my pleasure.
The lunch hour.
Yes.
Just while I share this screen. Thank you for your introduction. Indeed, I am very fortunate, thank God, that I enjoy very much of all my 4 careers. And then each still is close to my heart, from Navy, from IT, from financial planning to now estate planning. And I think the estate planning is the kind of career that I find that most satisfying, derive most satisfaction, because I find that it is most value to my clients and my friends. And not just that, also because of my conviction of the importance and urgency of estate planning, I was able to give talks. Before the COVID was in person, to companies, to CCs, community clubs, even all those other charity organizations. And then over the COVID period, I still able to conduct a webinar to people association as well as one insurance company. And most recently, just late last month, did one for the SF Veteran Leagues. And today, I have this opportunity to share with you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. So I think just let me share my screen and.
Yes.
Okay. Now, estate planning is a part of financial planning. Oh, I think I missed too fast. click too fast. Yeah. Some of you, I think, or most of you would know what is financial planning. There are 6 areas, but it's not in order of priorities. All are equally important, and actually, you should be doing all at the same time. Yeah. But of course, some you choose to do your insurance planning first. Yeah. But to me, it's all are equally important and need to be given priority to do all. Yeah. Okay, so what is estate planning? Basically, is a planning process that throughout your life. So it's not a one-time effort. It's just like your financial planning. It's not a one-time effort. It's a whole lifetime. How to manage and distribute your estate. Estate means everything that legally you own. Yeah. The purpose is to ensure that your wishes, your intentions of how to benefit, distribute your assets to your beneficiaries can be done, including taking care of yourself, include succession for multi-generation purposes. Yeah. Now, first of all, we need to understand what is the nature or the character of estate planning. I coined it DECAR. There are 4 areas. I will elaborate. Number 1 is estate planning is dynamic. All right, dynamic because of what you have and because of the value of assets throughout your lifetime. Number 2, and also of course your social network, your family members. Number 2 is social changes in social situations over your lifetime. And then number 3 is unique because all of us, our situation is different. Some are single, some are married with many children, some are without children, and some even have elders, parents or grandparents have to look after. Or I have clients who even have to care for their siblings, nephew, niece. Yeah. And then number 4 is over times of our life stages of because of the changes in our asset holding, our social situations, so it's necessary to review from time to time. I'll go a little bit more in detail. Now, your asset holding dynamic because you start working after you finish your university, and after that you start to saving. Hope that everyone have this habit. Don't spend every cent you earn. You save and then you invest. Now, of course, invest. Sometimes you make money. Sometimes you lose money. Hopefully, you grow your wealth. And then for some, maybe go into business, and then business is a big investment to some. Yeah, and then you may inherit certain from your parents or from distant relatives as well. Now, also you may be receiving some gifts or payout from insurance, or someone at fault party will cause harm to you, and then you claim against that person, and that whatever this claim is become part of your assets. Yeah. Now, social situation changes. The same, start single after you completed a study. Hopefully, after a few years, you get married, settle down, and then you have children, and then like me, I have grandchildren, and so forth. Yeah. So your family network expands over times, and then because of that, some maybe you have more concern. If I have one daughter who is a lawyer, another son is a taxi driver. Now, my concern for their needs is different. Yeah, and some people even more philanthropic, especially over the last 1 year. We see that there are many kind souls, philanthropic people, even not so wealthy. They come forward to help others. Even this one gentleman, 2 million of retirement fund, he donated 1 million, almost 50% of what he has. It's a very respectable kind of gesture. So different people at different life stage, their social concern may be different. Yeah. Unique. Well, based on the last two things, asset holding, your social network, your concern, priorities, changes. So it is unique because all of us are born differently. Yeah, our family makeup, our upbringing, our network. Yeah, so yeah, your priority concerns also changes. So everyone's needs is different. It's unique. So estate plan is unique for everyone. And because of the changes over time at different life stage, you need to review your estate planning. Like my mother, I have to care for her when she was with me, but last year, May, during the COVID, she passed away. So my estate plan, those that cater for her, I now can arrange to cater for some other beneficiaries, things like that. Okay. But more important thing is all this can only be carried out while you have sound mental capacity. Okay, estate planning actually involve what? These are subjects of estate planning, W5H. Who, I think in estate planning, first thing is who are your concerns. Beneficiary can include person, can include these racial clans, the Teochew clan, Hokkien clan, in Chinese, there are many clans in Singapore. Or it can be, I'm from NTU, so I might be for NTU endowment fund or education purpose, yeah, or for some other social concerns, charity organizations. So these are the beneficiary. Now, but you need to appoint legal representative, depend on what instrument, can be your executor, can be your donee, can be your trustee, or any or other, personal, this power of attorney, yeah. So depend on what instrument, who are these people you want to appoint, right? And then what are your concern, who are of your concern, and then your causes. And then the next is what and where are your assets? Here there's 5 categories, but not this 5 category in general, can be in Singapore, can be overseas. But of course, insurance mostly is, you purchase insurance policy at the country where you are resided, yeah. And then the third thing is your concept of managing your estates. When to distribute, why certain, you must have some reasoning why you want to give care more for, provide more for certain people and less for another person. And then, and how to do it. Is a one-time give 10,000 every year, or is it, is a one-time give a big lump sum to the person, or is it over a period of time, especially for charity, yeah? Okay, so these are the subject of your estate planning. Now, why is it important? Just now I briefly mentioned estate planning, any changes you want to make or up review can only be done while you are having sound mental capacity. In the legal aspect, is that you must have the legal capacity. When a person is no longer around, there's no way you can execute anything. Or when you lose mental capacity, also you can't execute any legal documents. Yeah. Now, so first of all, why is it so important? Because once I have all these explaining document in place, basically that's where my thinking, my concerns, my intention, and also my method of how to manage my assets, maybe my condo, my business, or my insurance policy, 1 million policy, or other assets. Yeah, I know that how this will be handled. So my wishes can be done. That's the most important thing. Then, of course, with the legal document in place, with your rightful personal representative appointed, you know that they will be able to carry out your instruction according to what you have put down in the relevant documents. Now, so you'll be very expeditious. Yeah. Now, without which that you likely to incur legal fee and also the financial loss. So have estate planning done, basically avoid financial loss to your estate. And because also with this expeditious execution, and then it's according to your intention, you know who needs, and then the family member don't have to worry about what is your thinking. And then worse, you know, there are families who squabble and fight over the founder's assets. Yeah, so actually end up a broken relationship, family member suffers. Yeah, and then certain instrument basically is served to avoid probate. For example, insurance policy straight away pay out to your estate. CPF money, you know, do CPF nomination straight away. You know, your nominee will within a few days, in fact, less than 1 week upon notification of death, the nominee will get the money. So no probate. And of course, if you set up trust, living trust, you already have some asset inside there that you say upon my death, you know, every month or every week give so much to this person. Is immediate. So no probate. Unlike those are under will or those are not under any of the estate planning instruments. Now, also important is, especially for those who are wealthy and businessmen, I think very concerned how to minimize tax and duties. In Singapore, our estate duty is free, no duty at the moment. In the future, don't know, maybe it changed the law. But in some other countries, they are very hefty estate. They call it death tax, whether inheritance tax or estate duty. Can be 40%, 50%, depend on countries. So this can be very expensive. Yeah. And also estate planning can use for asset protection. We're not going to detail, and maybe in the subsequent talks that we have, then we can discuss more how this can be realized. Now, for those who are in business partnership with friends, estate planning is very critical to make sure that should you lose mental capacity or if you pass away, the value of your share, fair value of your share will be preserved for your family. Otherwise, when dead men tell no story, right? The survived partners will say the company is not doing a one share, only 1 cent. Your husband 30% share, 30 cents. You know, it's quite, and then it end up a lot of disputes. And this is where the number 9 is avoid conflict and dispute. Not just with business partners, even family member can have a lot of conflict and disputes when the estate assets are concerned, you know, because human being basically selfish. Yeah. Okay. So with this estate planning, basically, you know that all are in place. You know that you will enjoy all these benefit of estate planning. You will have a peace of mind. Anytime should I lose mental capacity, or anytime should I meet in an unforeseen events that take away my life, I know that things will be in order. So I don't have to worry. Okay, and earlier I mentioned estate planning is very urgent because we cannot be assured when will I lose legal capacity. That means when will I die, when that I might lose mental capacity. All right, so this is urgent. Anything can happen. It's just like last 2 weeks, we see that car accident that 5 young men passed away. And then also in the last 2 weeks, 2 ladies were murdered at different locations. And things are like a lot of things nobody expects, right? And can happen. Yeah. Right. Certain of death, I think here just some of the categorization, natural death, and then some are unnatural death. It's just an accident, the murder, things like that. The best death, of course, is that of old age, you know, and die in bed, injury in sleep, and never get up. That is the best. Otherwise, can be illness, heart attack, and so forth. All right. Possibility of mental capacity. Hope that this will not happen to us. Yeah, by God's grace, but it does happen. I have a Navy friend who is vegetable for 11 years due to some unexpected events, but that is those called acquired conditions. Some are born with, like those Down syndrome, the autistics, and some early onset of dementia can happen. Dementia is not only for the old folks. Medical statistics shows that even in Singapore, there are early stage dementia at 30 plus. So it's a brain condition, the brain cell condition, and can happen. So be careful. Hope that will not happen to us, but it can happen. So the whole purpose of planning is to take care what if happen to you, happen to your spouse, or what worse happen to both. And this we know there's common disasters. Some from time to time we read in the newspaper can happen. It's very unfortunate. So we don't want to be caught by surprise. We should have estate planning done so that we have a peace of mind. All right. If you do not have estate planning, once you lose the legal capacity, everything else has to go by law. And then the legal process and the cost of the legal process to appoint the rightful legal personal representative is costly and time consuming, and some can drag on for years. And then until such things settle, your family member will suffer. And then as a result, also incurred costly financial expenses, right? Imagine, so just the next few slides just show you some situation. If you are in this category, bear in mind, my purpose is to joke you so that you think about it. Yeah, singles, you think that no issue, all right, good health is happy, but what if you die, right? And then if you lose mental capacity, not dead, who are going to take care of you? How to ensure that you have a dignity lifestyle? Yeah, so, and this is particularly more concerned for single parents with dependents. If you don't have dependent, there's still some issues, but I think if you have dependents, then it's really is something to think about. Yeah. For couples or married person, some family, I'm not too sure. My generation, a lot of family is based on one sole breadwinner. But I think in the younger generation, I think most family are dual income family, right? So whether it's single income or both income, I think there's concerns. Either one of them pass away, or either one suffer loss of mental capacity. Yeah, there is still some implication. Let's say my wife is a full-time housewife. What if she suffer mental incapacity? I probably have to employ a maid. She will incur medical costs, and then I will spend some more time. My family have to spend more time to take care of her or to be with her. So that will affect my work, affect my other social activities. So it is financially as well as socially, there are some concern, even if your spouse is not working. Yeah. Worst case, what if both the husband and wife pass away or suffer loss of mental capacity? Worse, both lost mental capacity due to an accident, and then both have got their brain damage and become vegetable. So it's very concerned. Yeah. So basically, estate planning is that we want to address all these scenarios. Do not think that it will not happen. We plan so that if such unfortunate situation happen, we have a plan in place. We know who we're going to do what and how. Yeah, so that our family member will not suffer unnecessarily. Okay, just quickly, basically in Singapore, these are relevant tools we should consider. Not every instrument are required by every person because your situation is different, your need may be different. Yeah. However, two basic instruments everybody need. One is lasting power of attorney. This is under the Mental Capacity Act. Every adult in Singapore are advised, are encouraged to do LPA. As of end last year, out of 3.2 million Singapore adult residents, only about 90,000 have done their LPA. That is less than 3%. That's why I have a mission to educate and to give talks so people understand and go and do their LPA. Now, will is another instrument everyone must have because that is certain, but when, don't know. We do not want to get caught in the situation that our estate is handled by a public trustee, our estate is handled by the law, the way of distribution may not be what we want. All right, so these two are necessary. And then trust depends your situation. Do you need trust? Yes or no? Whether you got someone need a long-term care. For example, those are family with special need dependents. They will not be able to manage their own affair or financial matter on their own. So the only way is to set up trust or special need trust. The details we can discuss in some other forum. Yeah, CPF nomination. When everyone die, your CPF money will depend on who you nominate to. If you do not nominate, then it will go to public trustee. And then the claimant will have to go through a very tedious and costly process to claim. Yeah. Insurance nomination, yes or no, but have a specific purpose. Then lastly is advanced medical directive. When I am in the terminal ill condition, unconscious, and on life support system in any way. AMD, basically, I make a decision now to say if I'm under that condition, just remove the extraordinary treatment system. Yeah, in a layman term, we call life support system. So we don't have to let our family make that very traumatic decision to pull the plug. Yeah. Okay, here there are a few things I've asterisked here, like wills. Can be multiple because if you have significant assets in different country, your business in different country, the property in different countries, you may want to, because of expediency, you want to have a will in that jurisdiction concerned. Yeah, trust can depend on the purposes. Charity trust, family trust, asset protecting trust. You can have multiple trusts for different purposes or different set of beneficiaries. Yeah, there's no conflict, so you may need a different trust. Insurance nomination, because every insurance policy, every insurance nomination only involves one insurance policy. So if you have multiple insurance policy and you think that insurance nomination, the advantage of insurance nomination you want to do so for your beneficiary, then you have to have multiple insurance nomination. Whereas LPA, CPF nomination, and AMD, everyone only on your own. Yeah, each one have one of such instrument. All right, I think I will not go through this one. Now, LPA, of course, is applicable when a person loses mental capacity. All right. Will is when a person passes away. Trust can be, living trust can be set up now while I'm still alive, or upon my death, or set up for over a long period, like charity or trust, foundations. Foundation is another type of trust as well. Yeah, so this depends, yeah, long term. CPF nomination, of course, only pay out upon death. Yeah, And I think here it's important is that if you do not have nomination, you have not made nomination or no surviving nominee, then the money will go to the public trustees for distribution, according to the different set of laws. Insurance nomination is not necessary in a sense. Once I die, all my insurance policy payout is form part of my estate, and then will be handled by my will, go through the probate process by my executors. Otherwise, if you have nomination, then the nominee will go and claim the payout from the insurance company concerned. That is within days after notification. AMD is do it now, and then when I'm in that situation, the panel of specialists decided that I concurred that I have lost this. I'm in the terminal ill condition, and there's no cure. And then they don't have asked my family member, to pull or not to pull. The panel of specialists come to that conclusion and all concurred. Then they will honor my decision in the AMD I made. They just inform my family, tomorrow they will terminate. They will stop the extraordinary life treatment, and then that's it. Okay, lastly, I just quickly share about the estate planning process. Number one is awareness, like forum like this, webinar like this, or you attend some talks from CPF board, about CPF nomination, or some other financial advisor organization, they conduct talks. So awareness, or even read books. I read my books or attend other seminars, right? And then you need to do a lot of preparation, because remember the W5H, you need to do some preparation. What you have, who are your concern, how you want to handle. So you need to, and then for people, your personal representative beneficiary, you need to know their particulars. It's not just Lim Jui Seck. You need to know the IC address, things like that, and relationship. Okay, so you get the preparation. After the preparation, then your estate planner understand it, will be able to help you to structure, based on the 6 kind of instrument. What are the things necessary or relevant? Whether it's for a single person or is it for a husband and wife? So the structure will be different. After the structure, then if you are happy, and then agree that the necessary estate planning instrument are required for your purpose, then your estate planner will be able to help you to start drafting the relevant documents. Or like LPA, they will help you to apply to OPG, make the necessary applications. And the draft, that means is put it in black and white. These are what's your intention, how you want to do. And then with a document, black and white, then it'll be easier for you to realize whether any changes, things like that. So there's 4 and 5, basically there are some repetitive until such time that the content is fully satisfied your intentions and your situation. So that you finalize document, you have to prepare the so-called final documents legal to be executed or signed rather. So these are finalized and then arranged with the necessary witness or certificate issuer or lawyer or relevant person to for the execution of your relevant documents. After that, the next is important to consider custody of these relevant documents. Is very important. Do not take it too lightly. I think our own personal experience. Now I ask you, where is your university degree? Where's the title deed of your bungalow? Or your marriage cert? some of you may not be able to find it. And then same with your will and then your trust and all these important documents. It's important to know to keep in the safe place, because otherwise, if it's subject to damage, or unauthorized access, it may not be good for your purpose. Yeah. And then number 9 is a different stage of your life. Now you do your estate planning, maybe 3 years time you get married, 5 years time you got children, and things like that. And so you need to review from time to time again. Then it's what are some changes of your concern or your asset holding, and then is there a need for restructuring? Then the cycle. Yeah. Okay, I think so. This is just today. This is basically give you an overview of what estate planning involves. Now, specifically for each of these instruments and for structuring your estate plan, if probably in the near future, perhaps Sarah can host a similar kind of session, and hopefully it can be in person if our COVID situation can improve. Yeah. Then we
yes,
can,
I'm definitely hoping for that, Jui Seck. Jui Seck, maybe just to start off the questions we have, and for participants, you're welcome to type in your questions in the chat or the Q&A function just below. But I have a question. What if someone asks, can I do a will? And then if I change my mind, is it very easy to redo a will, or should I just wait until I decided on all the affairs before I make a will, or should I just do it? What would you say to that?
Good question. Thank you. I think this is earlier I mentioned will and LPA is 2 documents every adult must do, and don't wait because our situation changes, and then will can always rewrite. If the situation change, whether your asset holding, whether it's your social network, you can change from time to time. In fact, it's necessary. So do it now, because we do not know what happened tomorrow. What will happen tomorrow to me? Will I be around? Yeah.
And is there the registry, does it register, the Singapore Wills Registry, can you register the details of your wills there or not?
Currently, the will registry is with Singapore Law Academy, but only very little information. Frankly, I'm not too sure what is the value, because it doesn't assure that this is the latest will. Number 1, they only have 4 things. Number who, Lim Jui Seck, on this day, done the will, and then this is done by Sarah-Mae Thomas LLC, and the will is kept at my home. This 4 information, that's all. No content. And then next year, I rewrite a will. I forgot to register with this Singapore Law Academy. Now you tell me which is my latest will. Is the registry, the information valid, or my latest will? So that is some issue there. And every registry you have to pay a fee. Now, of course, recently Law Academy say that they are looking into providing, able to for you to deposit the will content. But still not too sure yet. And then what kind of fee? But the same situations, after some time I rewrite a will and I did not lodge with them. Where's my latest will? Because the court always recognize the latest will. Your latest will void your previous will.
And Jui Seck, can you maybe, I'm just flipping through your book. I'm very intrigued to know, did it take you a long time to do this book on estate planning?
Well, I thank God that, in fact, I never intend to write a book until a friend asked me, why don't you write a book? But God has prepared me really in the last 4 years now. I have been giving public talks. So more or less, I know the idea is there. But it's during the COVID last year that the circuit breakers that I am not allowed to go out and not allowed to meet my client. Because the company I'm working with say that the government rule very strict, please don't go and see your client. Then I was thinking what I'm going to do. Yeah. So this prompt from this friend, is remain in my mind. I said, why not write? So it took me 5 months to write the book.
Amazing, so amazing. And for listeners, the book is very interesting. It's got basically everything. It's got the overview of estate planning, and then Jui Seck talks about each of the instruments, right? We talk about LPA, about wills, yep, relevance of trust, CPF nomination, and you go into the governing law and about the requirements and everything. So it's a very comprehensive guide for anyone, whether you're a lawyer or just a lay person who needs to find out about the basics. So, Jui Seck, do you have your book there, the feature of your book? Was it in your slide?
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, this book is distributed by my distributor and is currently available in all Kinokuniya and popular bookstores. And I also know that all National Library branches, they have a copy of my book. And the last month I did a search, all the books are loaned out.
Oh, wow.
So
amazing.
I think it's quite well accepted.
Yes.
So far, it's more than 500 copies has been taken up.
Fantastic.
But in association with this, in conjunction with this talk, my distributor allowed me, because there's a contractual thing, is my exclusive distributor, but he's happy that through my talks, because I conducted talks at different organizations, so he said, he agreed to sell at $20. So that is some privilege. I mean, there's an agreement between
wonderful
me and my.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Great.
So anyone who want to get a copy at $20, either you can contact me at this number, or you can just liaise with Sarah, say that you need a copy. And we can arrange to
have that sorted out.
You.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if there's any questions, please, again, feel free to type it out in the Q&A box from any listeners. So, Jui Seck, I just have a question. If someone doesn't have has an insurance policy, and that particular policy doesn't have a nomination requirement, can it go into the will?
No, automatically any insurance payout without insurance nomination, it forms part of that person's, the policy owner's estate. You can mention in a will, you also don't mention in a will. Mention in a will, in a will doesn't mean you list out every single item, how many bank account, each bank account, not necessary, because all these are considered assets. So basically you can have one clause called residuary, and basically it's all that I have. How are you gonna do, by the percentage or give to certain beneficiary. But if you want to say for that particular policy, I list the policy number from AIA or from Prudential, this policy number, upon my death, I want to give to so-and-so specific person. That's called specific gift. But if you don't mention that, you form your part of your estate, and then should be dealt with in your residuary.
Okay. And I've just had two other questions. Someone's has emailed, my parents never talk about their estate plan with me. How can I break the ice?
My father's generation, I'm 70, my father's generation, estate planning is taboo. Particularly writing will, but CPF nomination, all the while since the CPF board started, he has been telling people you have to nominate. Otherwise, you go by the Intestate Succession Act. So I think it's basically is over the last, particularly last decade, I think this MAS together with this Institute of Financial Literacy, Money Sense, they've conducted, even SIAS, they conducted public talks so that more people are aware. In fact, the youngsters are more aware of financial planning and estate planning. So it's no longer taboo. Now, for the question asked is the parent who are not aware or maybe not too willing to discuss, then I think is I have to find a proper situation, maybe some incident, some accident, the neighbor passed away, then no estate planning, the trouble they go through, the difficulty they go through, Daddy, what if you suffer a loss of mental capacity? You're 75 now. What if you lose mental capacity? And then how are you going to manage your assets? Or who do you want to appoint to handle your thing? So that and then from this
there the conversation can just
but very much depend on the person's sensitivity. I think you need to know your parents' sensitivity. This thing, and then find some suitable incidents or cases, and then to raise it. What if this happened to you?
Yes. Okay. Great answer. Then one question was, I'm not wealthy. Why do I need to have an estate plan?
Okay, estate planning is not only for the wealthy, not only for the old, but rather is there are cases of people who are not so wealthy, but the problem is we do own something. Most Singaporeans own some CPF money, and then under the Singapore government policy, 80% or 85% of people are staying in a HDB. Some be 2 rooms, some are 3-room flat. They don't have anything else except the flat because that's what the government to help them to own their property. But even that can be a few $100,000. And then the CPF money also can be, for those lower income, they still can be, 50 to 100,000. These are money. And then how do you want to make sure that these are explicitly handed to the rightful beneficiary? That's number one. Number two, you don't want your family member to fight and quarrel and then suffer broken relationship because of your estate.
Yes. That's good. Okay, so there's no other questions at the moment, so I might just wrap up today's talk. Jui Seck, thank you so much for sharing on estate planning. And for listeners, as Jui Seck mentioned, you can reach out to either Jui Seck himself or myself to get a copy of this book. I'm just reading it and it's just very, very interesting. So do try and get your hands on this copy. And in the meantime, Jui Seck, how can people reach out to you?
Oh, okay. I think, either they can email me or just WhatsApp me.
Yes. Okay, great. All right.
You can call me. But my practice since my financial planning days, if I'm engaged with someone, I do not pick up. But be assured, I will return the call. So I think it's better either by Gmail or WhatsApp. Then I can, at my own time, I can understand.
Yes. Wonderful. All right, then. Thank you, everyone, for joining on the lunch hour today. Stay tuned because we've got an exciting guest. We've got Sunita Gill next month talking about luxury estate planning. Not estate planning, but luxury investment planning, and particularly luxury property, investing in luxury properties as well as just everyday properties. So stay tuned for that. And thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your lunch. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.